It's Pokemon's 26th anniversary this week, and we've had a Pokemon Direct on the day the first games came out in Japan, 26 years ago. It's hard to think, isn't it, that 26 years ago the original Game Boy was still a thing. Anyway, the Direct, if anything else, brought to light just how many different ways that you can play a Pokemon game today. And now Game Freak have announced the next generation of Pokemon games, coming out later this year. Now, although this week's Direct did bring with it a couple of nice updates, it did concern me a bit. So hello fellow gamers, and is Game Freak being a little too ambitious? The Pokemon Company's Direct on Sunday revealed some new additions to a vast range of Pokemon games available today, putting it down as their 26th anniversary celebrations. It was nice to sit back and watch it, but now we've had a few days to look back on it in retrospect. Not a lot was really offered that could be considered an anniversary celebration. It made me realise that Game Freak are really spreading themselves thin right now. So thin in fact that they're likely finding it difficult to put out any big proper celebrations to commemorate the anniversary. I mean, let's just quickly look over what they're offering. Alolan Pokemon had to start appearing in Pokemon Go, even though that was already done over 2 years ago. Pokemon Masters EX are getting new trainer teams and offering everyone free gems. Look! Free gems! They're making Masters EX sound like Candy Crush. Speaking of which, Pokemon Cafe Remix are adding new Pokemon and outfits. And Victini as well, I guess. Pokemon Unite is adding a new Full Fury battle option, the chance to play any Pokemon on special days, and they're introducing Hooper for a short while. Oh, and free clothes. Woo! Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl see the return of an event that a lot of people have been looking forward to, the Shaman event that was previously only available on Pokemon Platinum. Pokemon Legends Arceus gets the Daybreak update that adds additional requests from residents from the Hisui region, including a new Mass Outbreak side story. Oh, and free Pokeballs.
Goody gumdrops.
So as you can see, there were updates for plenty of the current Pokemon games available today. Except, I'm not sure these are good ways to celebrate an anniversary, are they? Take away the fact that it's the 26th anniversary for a moment, and have another look at those updates. New Pokemon for a limited time, free bog standard attire, free in-game currency. Besides maybe Legends Arceus' Daybreak update, all of these are really just normal additions that would have been added to these games anyway, at any time. And then there's the Shaman event on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. We all knew Oak's Letter was going to get distributed at one point or another, given these are revamps of the original Gen 4 releases where the event was only originally available on its third title, Platinum. And the bugs ever present in the game made it pretty easy for players to reach Shaman by alternative means anyway. So tying this into an anniversary direct feels a bit lazy, if you ask me, for something that they were going to be doing regardless. And then there's the games that they didn't mention. Where's Pokemon Quest? Some new Pokemon could have been added to that, that'd have been nice. And what about new Pokemon Snap? A new level with new Pokemon would be a welcome addition, or even just some new filters, frames and stickers. And where's the current gen games, Sword and Shield? Some special shiny Gigantamax encounters would have been nice for that too. Those titles aside, Game Freak have really taken this opportunity to show everyone just how many Pokemon games there really are right now. I don't think any one of us sits down and plays every one of them, we'll just play the ones that we want to play. And then there's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or Scarvio? That might be what we'll be calling these eventually. These are pegged to be released later in 2022. So by the end of the year, if we take all of these Pokemon games that we've mentioned today, that's 13 Pokemon games that are going to be available to us to play. Although, albeit, it does look like they're already starting to drop support for Sword and Shield. Now that's a lot of games to keep on top of for a company of only 167 employees. It's too clear to me that Game Freak are spreading themselves a bit too thin. You'd think given the money Game Freak are likely raking in, you know, since the Pokemon franchise is the biggest franchise there is, bigger than Mario, bigger than Mickey Mouse, bigger than even Star Wars, they could employ more staff to develop the games, couldn't they? And when you compare their number to another Japanese video game company that also specialises in RPGs, one who doesn't have nearly as many games to keep on a leash, and you'll quickly see the problem. I wonder if having the biggest franchise in the world applies a lot of pressure on the company in order to deliver on what the public wants, and to deliver it quickly. That would certainly explain why they've decided to outsource the development of many of their recent games to other companies. Now, Game Freak may not be developing these games themselves, but nonetheless, Pokémon is still their IP, so they have to keep contact with these other development houses, and be there to oversee their ideas and decisions. Game Freak have also been rather inconsistent with their mainline series of games in recent years. Back when they were developing Pokémon games on the DS, the games were consistent. They created an engine to run the game on, and then they fine-tuned that and tweaked that engine for the rest of the games on that platform. And they did the same on the 3DS, creating a whole new engine for Pokémon X and Y to show off Pokémon battles in glorious 3D, and then fine-tuned that same engine for the next 6 releases on the 3DS. That reuse of assets and incremental improvements meant that they didn't waste time reinventing the wheel all that much, and that meant the games just got better and better. But on the Switch, it looks like they're still trying to find their footing despite the system now celebrating 5 years on sale. Each mainline game that they've brought out has been very different from the last. Their first Switch release, Pokémon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, was very likely a tech demo, a result of Game Freak's first foray into developing for the Switch. Creating a remake of their very first Pokémon titles likely helped them focus their attention and take many of the design decisions out of the equation, which would make developing a game for the new system considerably easier. Tying it in with Pokémon Go, of course, would have helped to increase its attachment rate, but it was obvious that they had tried to take the 3DS recipe and apply it directly to the Switch. It wasn't a complete failure, but it lacked many of the charms that we would have come to expect from a mainline Pokémon game. Then they brought out Sword and Shield, which was more like a natural progression from the last gen releases, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They finally started exploring open world with those wild areas in the Gala region, and then introduced paid DLC to expand the story, rather than releasing a third title. Treegate and Dexit did divide fans, but it definitely felt more like when X and Y released on the 3DS. It had its flaws, but it also had promise. Imagine if the wrinkles were ironed out and the performance improvements were introduced, not to mention filling in those gaps in the national decks. It would have made for a great base for the next series of games. Which of course have now been revealed as Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, which, judging from what Game Freak have shown us so far, looks like at least it's using the same engine from Legends Arceus, rather than Sword and Shield. It's easy to tell actually, what with the art style and the open world look of the games. It even has the same graphical quirks. Notice the lower frame rate on that third wind turbine in the background? It's the same sort of effect in play in Legends Arceus when anything moves in the distance. So all 3 sets of mainline Pokémon games on the Switch developed by Game Freak are all running different engines. The next one picking up ideas from the previous, of course, but a lot of time has been spent by Game Freak building from the ground up again. At least this time it looks like they're recycling what was made for Legends Arceus, so we can hopefully expect Game Freak to spend less time reinventing the wheel and more time clearing up some of Legend Arceus' flaws for the next generation. And I'm glad that they're using Legends Arceus' engine on the next games because, well, Legends Arceus is actually a really good game. But there is something that I want to say just in case anyone from Game Freak is watching this. It's unlikely, but who knows. Guys, slow down, okay? But what do you think? Are Game Freak spreading themselves too thin? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. And hey, while you're down there, be sure to leave a like if you like the video. And you know there's always that subscribe button if you want to hear more from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.